Hello and welcome to the Melanated Veteran. I'm your host, Miss Mesha. And before we begin, the first order of business is to always share, like, and subscribe to the Melanated Veteran. We're on pretty much all major platforms. Don't forget to check us out at www.themelanatedveteran.com. So, my guest today is someone who was recommended by Ron Garman. I had him on the show. He was one of my first interviews, and he recommended this lady. She is a humanitarian, an advocate, and a businesswoman. She's helping wounded combat veterans. So she deals with the wounded combat veterans, and she's the founder and CEO of Baker Serenity and chairwoman of Jennifer Baker Foundation. Please welcome Miss Jennifer Baker.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Yes.
It's been a pleasure just to being able to share this platform with you right now. And I appreciate you having me on your show.
Absolutely. Like, once I started looking at your website and seeing, what you stand for, I was like, I have to have this woman on here. Like, I have to. And I'm glad that Ron recommended you. So I always like to start out. So how long were you in the military? And what branch?
I was in the military for 12 years.
Okay.
I retired out due to an accident that I had while I was downrange. And it just fell into place like that. Everything that I've pretty much been going through is by divine order. So yeah.
Okay.
This is actually me telling my story in so many words.
Right. So what made you decide to go into the military?
Well, first of all, I am from a military family, meaning, well, we all know what that means, but both grandfathers was in the military, and my aunts and uncle, well, a couple of aunts and uncle, because both my parents come from large families. So when it came down to the military, I didn't realize that actually my mother was raising us as we were already in the military. So it was an easy choice. We are always about serving our country. We're also all about education and trying to be the best that we can be. I know that's the Army logo, and I joined the Navy, but it works. It works.
It works for all of them. It works for all of them.
One team, one fight.
Exactly. It's one team, one fight. So you went into the military. You got out. Once you got out of the military.
Well, being that I was retired out due to medical reasons, the transition. So that's the part. Thank you so much for reminding me. I really didn't have a transition out, and it was due to my combat wounds. And I was told during a session at some particular time, they came up to my hospital bed and did a TAPS class, because we all know that it is the law now that you have to have TAPS class before you're officially out. So for me to transition a civilian, like I said, it wasn't much of a transition, me being in such a the state that I was in. And when everything had finally came to a head, and I was like, hey, I'm a civilian, this feels funny. It took a couple of years for me to get used to not being active duty. I really enjoy that word, active duty.
Right. I enjoyed it too.
Yes.
So how did you get started with the nonprofit organizations?
Well, I had saw that like I was explaining to you before, that transition. The transition is what did it.
Mm.
Through the transition, when I was, because I was sent on IA assignments.
Mm.
So that's individual orientation. So I didn't travel with a big group. When they
Mm.
needed me to go, I went. And when it all came down to it, um, it was like I was a number,
Mm.
and my number was up because I couldn't serve my country anymore.
Mm.
So that really set me back. So I figured that it was time to, for the people who didn't have anybody outside the military, because you know I'm blessed that I have both my parents still with me. I'm
Mm.
blessed because they've always been a part of my career, helping me hold down my kids. I'm just blessed. But when I was in Illinois, about to be transferred to Texas, I had asked the commander a question. I said, "Let me ask you this," because I had left my daughter when she was about 4 or 5 months. So I said, "Well, let me ask you this: if I didn't have a place to go, where would me and my kids go?" And
Mm.
she said, "I guess you would have to go to a shelter." That broke my heart.
Wow.
And pretty much she was 100% correct. She was a hundred
Mm.
percent correct. And it's like, yeah, those things make and break people
Mm.
sometimes. You know, me just going through the trials and tribulation of being hurt while downrange, and me coming home and have to transition to civilian. Then what if I had to find a job, or what if I'm, it's a lot of different things out there that will break you. So
Mm.
when I heard you would have to go to a shelter, that set that didn't sit right with me, and that was on my mind ever since. It's still on my mind today.
Mm. Wow. It's it's sad to think that there's not they don't have very much for us as veterans, and then like with this whole transitioning, there's even with TAPS class, there's so much information out there. It's like, well, where do you start? Where do you go first?
Right, and that's the thing, and that's another thing. If it wasn't for my family, and
Mm.
if it wasn't for wise people in my family, who had already been in the military, so they kind of knew the route to go. I'm gonna say it like that. They knew the do's and the don't of the VA, well, the old VA.
Mm.
So that's why they told me, "Hey, what you put into it is what you're gonna get out of it," and that's
Mm.
like every duty station you go to. What you put into it is what you get out of it.
Mm.
So I say, it's time for a change. This cannot, and another thing is that I once again said I left my daughter when she was months.
Mm.
I got so much backlash because of that. I had people, you know, calling me all different type of things, and
Mm.
calling me a bad mother and all these things. And at first it wasn't. I didn't care at first. I'm like, you don't know. I'm out here protecting the universe. What's going on?
Mm.
But that made me think about my priorities, and I had to come back and say, I have my priorities wrong, and it's something that needs to change.
Mm.
But everybody cannot do that because, when I first retired, I'm gonna say the first 2 years, myself and my father, we were at the VA every day,
Mm.
every day. And when I say we saw things that was like, well, you just, oh my goodness, what? Oh no, what's going on? So we
Mm.
saw a lot of things, and we met a lot of people from being there all the time. but it's like people are going through desperate measures just to um, fulfill and have a livelihood, which
Mm.
I don't believe that they should have to fight that hard,
Mm-mm.
because that's what we did when we were on active duty. So now it's time, we come home, people say, hey, there's a hero, or there's a warrior, or there's,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. It's time. I think it's time to give us more than that name. You need to get some benefits with those big names that you're throwing out.
Absolutely. Um, just reading what you guys do. Tell us a little bit about the who you deal with, like the wounded. I know you deal with wounded combat veterans. Who else do you also work with?
Okay, so we started off as Wounded Female Veterans of America.
Mm.
And I really didn't want to start off like that. But I had to, because I'm a female.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of things that pass us by because we are females.
Mm.
The females, that's combat females, are most likely females that have learned how to take the rough patch around. You understand what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
but I definitely, when I came out with that, I was like, and then the guys were like, oh my God, what is the female thing? The guys always, it's always the
Mm.
battle between the sexes, or the battle between these different, the Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines. But
Right.
the thing is that that's what I did first. I started off with Wounded Female Veterans of America for single mothers, or mothers that needed help due to separation from the military, due to poverty, due to being a single parent, family,
Mm.
and everything is unique. Everybody's different case is unique. Nobody case is the same,
Mm.
because you don't know what type of facilities or things that they may need. So we sit down with each person and find out their specific need.
Mm.
From there, I felt, well, of course, I've got to have my guys, because once again, when I deployed, it was majority males, me being a female.
Mm.
So I definitely wanted to reach out for the males, but I wanted to reach out to the part that we was in, and that was combat,
Mm.
Wounded Combat Veterans of America, and that's for our deployed people,
Mm.
who come back and they may have issues. When I came back home, um, unfortunately, my husband had took everything I had, and left me with nothing, including
Mm.
all my um, everything from my military career. I have nothing to show my military. I don't even have a chevron. So
Mm.
it was like, hey, I wasn't the only one coming back to disrupted homes. I wasn't the
Mm.
only person coming back to things just out of hand.
Right.
So the thing is that I was like, and then when I got home, I was behind rent on 3 months. I said, oh my. So it's times like that when you need to be able to reach out to somebody, if not just for therapy, if not for assistance, if not for, we're going to try to get you everything that you can. That means we're going to help you with that rating that you might need, that might help
Mm.
you get out of such a desperate situation.
Mm.
So then from there, um, we went to the kids, because my daughter, like I said, I left her when she was months, and I really didn't get back to her until she was like 12 or 13. And
Mm.
because of the extent of my injuries and everything like that. And what made me realize was that we have to take care of these kids, is because everybody likes to say, oh, she has everything. Yes, she has everything, but there's a lot of things that she's missing. And that's,
Mm.
once again, due to poverty, due to
Mm.
single family home, due to learning disabilities, due to whatever. Like I said, everybody has a different case. and we want
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that we address every person according to their needs. So we're just not out there saying, "Oh, you can do this, do this, do this." First, we need to ask you what do you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
and so we are in the process right now of starting to look for funding for the land in Wyoming. We have 80 acres of land in Wyoming, which
Mm.
we want to put small house boxes out there to facilitate these children and retired or um, vets that want to say, "Hey, I need to get away. I need a hobby, not a hobby, but I need to be able to calm down and go to my woosah land." So
Mm.
I thought that this would be the perfect area for this. We would put everybody in separate small box because they're small box home.
Mm.
Everybody would be able to have a yard, which promotes agriculture, which promotes. We want them to live like this is their land, and we
Mm.
want you to make it livable.
Mm.
It doesn't matter what your field may be, and that's what I see a lot of things going on with the kids is that they're feeling like they're not being accepted. And the thing
Mm.
is that once again, you have to stop and you have to listen first and
Mm.
listen to what they're saying, and then we see how we can facilitate them. Like, or do we need to call and get in with the school counselors? Once
Mm.
we start providing them aid and assistance, oh, I've been in the VA too long. Once we start um giving them things that they need, such as clothing, computers, and everything like this, because this is a program. This is a growth program. This is just not like, "Hey, we doing something for right now and see you later." No, we
Mm.
want to grow with these kids. We
Right.
want to grow with them, so therefore, when they're done with their rehabilitation, they can turn around and say, "Hey, I want to go back to where I came from."
Mm.
But when you go back, you know, and you have that instilled in you that I'm out there to get one person, just one person. We're
Mm.
not. You don't have to try to get a lot of people. You just say that one person. I'm
Mm.
out here to mentor this one person. I'm out here to volunteer and give. When you start seeing people smile, giving, loving,
Mm.
love, then it's contagious. And then from there, they turn around and help someone, and then they turn around and help someone.
Mm.
So we're trying to glamorize Jehovah first of all, because without him, we all would be nothing. But at
Amen.
the second time, we are here to show these children, young adults, disabled vets, or anyone. We're here to show them that, hey, somebody does care. Hey,
Mm.
it's not about what we can get from you; it's what we can do for you. Um,
I love
um,
it. I love it.
yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
I did. That was a lot,
Mm.
but yeah,
Yo,
that's
it's
pretty much how what we do.
yeah. And I like how you were saying, having the kids living off the land too, because that helps them learn about their
Yeah.
agriculture, learning how to plant, learning how to, let's say, if you guys have chickens there, you have farm, you know what I mean? Like they'll learn
Right.
how to do stuff for themselves.
And that's when you, and those are the things that we are like missing out: the agriculture,
Mm-hmm.
financing, how to budget, things that these kids may need in order to survive.
Mm.
These are survival tools for them, because in order for you to be successful, you got to know how to count.
Hello.
You got to know how to do some things by yourself. You just can't go out and say, "Hey, you do that for me," because as
Mm.
you see, it don't always lead to the best result.
Right. I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing for the veterans and then for the children too. Um, so before we wrap things up, tell everybody where they can find you.
Okay, so I'm all no, I'm all over. at jenniferbaker.org. JenniferBaker.org. And there you will find out our history. You will see our boards. You will see the different sections we talk about. You will also get to if you choose, like, you want to volunteer or you want to donate, you can also do that there. You'll find my bio there, and you'll find the bio of each one of my board members. But yeah, jenniferbaker.org, and we're starting to get ready to do our blog as well. But due to circumstances right now, we're gonna hold on. It's gonna come with a whole new lifestyle change. So, it's a lot of people from the military or that's retired or disabled or something that just don't know how to take care of themselves with these disabilities. So this is another thing. So we have a clothing line also coming out in December, and it's Hero. The clothing line is Heroes, and the brand is Scar.
Okay.
So therefore, like I said, so we're really trying to hit all the areas.
Amen. I want to thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to seeing you grow in your business. So I'm excited.
I'm excited as well too. I know that I know it's good things to come, and I know that once we get out there, we're out there glamorizing the Lord. We out here trying to give our kids the things that they miss. We're trying to put things back into their curriculum so that they will grow as one. We're not worried about race, color, creed, religion. We're not worried about that. So we can grow as one under Jehovah, and that's what it boils down to.
Amen. So you can find me at the Melanated Veteran on Facebook and IG. Don't forget to check out the website, www.themelanatedveteran.com. I am your host, Miss Mesha, signing off, saying embrace what makes you, you.